I'm going to take y'all home with me. Well, developmental researchers think they got a great idea. They think they figured out that kids coming from hard places needed a holistic intervention that meets the needs of body, soul, and spirit. Don't you just love it when science catches up with God for a minute? Because we serve the sovereign that laid into the universe the integrity of body, soul, and spirit, and a sovereign God who comes to us all that he is, meeting us all that we are. I love the Shema. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. And you will love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength. I love that twice a day, the Hebrew daddies in the ancient land would stand and face towards Jerusalem and call out together in one voice. I can almost feel the resonance. I can almost feel the vibration across the land as Father's voices boomed together. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one, and you'll love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your strength. Hebrew daddies sat on the bedsides of their children, and as children went to sleep at night, they helped them meditate on that passage. A devout Hebrew as they died, they hoped that their last words uttered in this life would be, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one, and you'll love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. Well, I am one of those developmental researchers, but I happen to know where the big idea came from. Okay. I know as a researcher and as a scientist that children coming from hard places have a different brain. Dozens of things have happened that make their brain different. The corpus callosum that separates the two hemispheres is altered by abuse. So they don't think the same way a child thinks that hasn't come from hard places. I know that for those children coming from hard places, the amygdala is hyperactive, the little part of the brain that says there's danger. That's not the same as it is for little children coming from loving homes. Yeah, y'all stopped breathing. Okay, I want you to look at the person beside you and say there's answers for all of this. Okay, look into somebody's eyes, take a deep breath. God made the waters in creation before he made the fish, okay? Before our children got hurt, there was a God who is the healing balm, okay? So don't hold your breath when I talk about what we know is wrong, because we know the Father who's the balm and the healer, okay? So the brain of our child is different. The body of our child is different. Our children are more subject to hunger. They're more subject to sleep deprivation. They're more subject to alterations in their blood sugar. One of the most sobering pieces of science that's come out in a lifetime is the fact that the biology of our children is different. We actually know that the expression of the DNA is altered by trauma and abuse and neglect. So a child that comes from a hard place has a different brain, a different body, a different biology, and a different belief system, okay? Our child should have been able to say, when I'm in danger, I'll run from danger and I'll run to my mama. When I'm in danger, I'll run from danger and I'll run to my papa. But for the child who was harmed, I want to run from terror, but the source of my terror is the source of my comfort. So what do I do? So our children come home confused about how to connect to us. So you add this equation. I'm not great at math, but I can do this one. A different brain, a different body, a different biology, a different belief, so I'm going to have a different behavior. And I am thankful that we serve a Jehovah Rapha, who is the God, our healer. I am grateful that we have illustration throughout all of Scripture of a Jesus, of a Lord, of a sovereign who saw all. And when looking at the woman at the well, saw beneath the behavior to the need. When looking at a woman caught in adultery, saw beneath the behavior to the need. When he was asked just to touch the little children's heads and bless them, he scooped them up into his arms. When he raised the little girl from the dead, he said, now give her something to eat. And I'm going, hey, that was a short-term miracle. You know, you think you'd go more than 15 minutes before you needed food and water. But, you know, I guess we learned about that from him, didn't we? A sovereign God who fed the 5,000 because they were hungry, not because he needed another miracle notch on his belt. Okay. We serve a sovereign God who has answers to all of our needs, and they're practical answers, and they're real answers, and they're tangible answers, and they are fleshed out in Scripture and in the life of the Lord that we serve. But we have to look into his eyes and know who he is. And as we know who he is, we know who we are. And as we know who we are, our babies look into our eyes and they know who they are. Okay. I've loved since I was a little girl, and that's a long time. The verse from Matthew, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Listen to this. This is a take-home, okay? Blessed, happy, joyful in the translation, are the pure, katharos, cauterized, in heart, the center of feeling, thoughts, and emotions, for they shall ophthalmo, look in wide-eyed amazement at God. Here's the formula for Jehovah Rapha, who is the God who knows that our children need body, soul, and spirit, deep healing. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall stand in wide-eyed amazement